Mimicoon! Hi guys.
Oh, wait. is that
starting this with just Mimicoon? Hi guys.
Bury me. Hang my balls from a cherry.
No! You don't allow that! I'm leaving it, and it's not like it's going to make a difference getting me demonetized now, is it?
Well, we're not even monetized.
Oh, because we have to get...
I don't think we can be.
Not until we get 1,000 subscribers.
It's like YouTube standards are like, if you want to become monetized, you have to have at least 3 million subscribers. You have to be child friendly, even though you don't do any friendly. Something in which it's supposed to appeal towards children. If you manipulate children,
the thing is, the weird thing is, like, you hear about YouTubers.
You have to make a online betting site for CS:GO.
And then also, you have to advertise it to children.
Before you do anything, you can attack that chandelier.
Oh.
Yeah, you can cut that chain.
Sorry, I'm so tense going over all these.
Oh god, yeah, I don't blame you. So let's unlock some.
Huh. But yeah, no. The thing is, like, depending on the YouTubers who have like really child-friendly like content, with millions upon millions of views.
I mean, I know of...
Well, not like child-friendly, but like, you know...
I mean, the ones I've seen are like child-friendly with millions upon millions of views, and like, they're actually like child-friendly. Like...
Yeah, no, bacon channels, toy unboxing channels. But no, I remember some of them... Advertiser money? AdSense. That's what it's called.
Is that like when...
That's the payment you get per view with an advertisement on.
Alright, yeah.
Basically, monetization.
Oh no! Oh, you killed him on the way.
Fuck you, dude.
All right, now all the way back for you.
It's not that far.
Not really, no.
Well, no. Anyway, and they were complaining of some really like not advertiser-friendly things. You know, like the odd bit of swearing. Oh, I make shit tons of money. So either these people aren't getting enough money. Or the people who are like, oh,
you just have to wait for it.
The people that eat that, or they're like getting messed around somehow, just aren't getting enough money because they think they should be getting more.
I mean,
when we genuinely find out how much you earn, because even though I doubt we'll ever get any money.
I mean, it's at a point now where if I earn more than what I think I'm going to be earning, I'm like, what the hell?
Well,
best day ever?
Yeah, no. I think there's gonna be a point where,
like, if I started earning millions and millions of pounds a year, some of these amounts of money,
I mean,
it'll get to a point where I just can't be asked like earning money anymore, and I'm just gonna be like,
I just go philanthropy.
Well, I just wouldn't be asked about what I spend my money on, and I'll probably just give it to like family and friends and whatnot, and let them just.
Yeah, no, we've just.
Whilst I'm here, you know, good about myself just because I've got my own little flat, I've got my own little PC, and now that now I'm earning some money, I not feel that like several different jobs are still ignoring me.
Yeah, I mean, you'll still be getting emails back saying we've carried on with other clients.
Yeah, look at it and go, oh. I'd look at it and just go, oh, okay then, and then I'd just probably move on to either another job, or I just. If I was earning money out of playing games, okay then, I'll just go and get myself a new game.
Yeah, no, because the thing is, if it got to the point where we both could not work and reliably earn a wage...
Well, if I could, like, reliably earn a wage playing games, I'd spend my wage to buy more games, and then, like, different things like editing software. Actually
pay for DaVinci Resolve because we just use a free version.
Well, I'd pay for like an actual like good editing software, not just that one. Or I'd like pay for someone to teach me how to software.
Well, looking into it, DaVinci Resolve, the one I use, is really good. It's like a proper professional one, but I just use the free version.
Yeah, you might be able to tell that that all of our stuff is like that because it's like we don't pay for like premium things. We just go for the free stuff.
Yeah,
because they're good.
And yeah, we only play games we already have.
Yeah, and all we've done is just combine both of our Steam libraries, of which we both have different games.
We put into this is our time, and that and I bought a 3TB hard drive.
Yeah, that was the most thing we bought. Well, the graphics card, I bought that, but I bought it like a good while ago.
Yeah, I mean,
and I just forgot I had it until I was like, I still have this.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm tempted to just...
I planned to record myself playing NES games, and I found out that me playing NES games on my own, it's boring because I don't talk for half the time.
That'd be the same game. I think we do work pretty well together because either I play and you commentate, or you play and I commentate, or a mixture of both.
Well, yeah, and I talk and then force you to talk.
Yeah.
And then if I'm like trying to look up something on my phone, you're there screaming because you can't get past a certain part in the game.
Oh god, yeah. The thing is, we bounce off each other well as it is.
Well,
it's the reason why so many people hate us.
Yeah, because you are, like, naturally, because to hit your belly, I'd lose my arm to the stratosphere.
Oh, fuck you. Not only am I bounced so very large, I just
up
fucking...
and down.
Bounce all around. Having lots of fun on a bouncy castle.
Anyone who gets that will love that joke.
Oh, I showed you the comment Sladen left on that.
Yeah, that really annoyed me.
Because I was like, you know what, I hate deathcore, and Sladen was just like, yeah, but there's a couple of bands that play at like 7 beats per second. I was like, yeah, but it's still deathcore.
Yeah, you're like, I don't like deathcore. There's nothing you can say that can ever make me not like deathcore.
And Sladen was just like, yeah, but there's some bands that I like. Okay.
By the way, I didn't realise it at the time.
I didn't realise it, and Sladen from Footprints, Becca recognised him before I did.
Well, she looked into it, didn't she? She went on his Facebook.
Yeah, she went onto his face, like, because I was just like, oh, it's just a guy, Sladen. I didn't realise it was Sladen from Footprints.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, how the fuck do you know Georgia? And he was like, oh yeah, she just lives around the corner from me. I was like, oh.
And one thing I love is
Sladen, you've met
Russ Custard.
You met Russ Custard.
Well, what I love is when I go to see bands live, I leave really enjoyed, which I have for pretty much all the bands live. It doesn't matter if I like the music or not.
I mean, Christ,
if they're a good performer, then I'll go out there and I'll support them, and I'll usually buy a CD.
We'll always buy at least a CD or some patches.
Well, I've run out of room for shirts, so I'll buy a patch almost definitely, and I have for most bands, apart from one band who just gave me the patch for free because I bought a CD.
Yeah.
And that was Ward 16.
That was Ward 16 will always go out the way for you.
Well, they won't always go out the way for me, but I'll always try to go out the way for them.
Well,
to a point where I've said to them that if they do shows above Manchester, as in like north of Manchester, I will do my best to get to them shows.
Oh no, I've told Wolfie a few times, like anything the band needs, I don't mind helping just because it'd be...
Oh yeah.
I mean...
And like, for me, it's just... helping out a band, that is cool.
Well, as well as that,
I don't even care if I have to do it for free. It's just if one of them says, "Hi, can you just drive down to the gig?"
It's that thing about people like wanting to know people in bands, but they'll never ever help or go see them, when they're starting out.
Well, when they say, "Oh, I'd love to meet someone in a band," I'd love a high-paid band.
Yeah, in a famous band where they can give me, where I can go to after parties, which would be really big with pretty women.
Well, what I find is that if they're in a really high-paid band, they've already got to that point, and so have mellowed out a little bit.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's like have you watched The Dirt, the Motley Crue film?
I've not, no, but I've seen Spinal Tap.
Basically, a lot of bands is seen in The Dirt, which the first scene first started. Yeah. And it's just off the chain. Like we get the police calling us 3 times a weekend, and it's gotten to the point where we've barred shut so people goes. Because the police can't. Basically, the police couldn't enter the building because there's no door, so they couldn't close the party.
Well,
that was a workaround for having some of the loudest parties in New York. Not New York.
Well, when I was because I met the bassist from Ward 63 out, and he was like, "Oh, I'm in a band." I was like, "Oh, cool." Yeah. And I gave him a listen. I immediately started going. I went up to him at some other point. I was like, "I really like this band."
Yeah.
Like, "Oh yeah, we're doing a show at some point soon," and it was in the city that I live in, Preston. And they were. I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll go." And it was because it's all very local and very old bands.
Yeah, because it was them.
The ticket was it started at 1 PM and finished at 11 or something stupid like that.
Because I was going to meet you, but I had to go do something with my family.
And so I just went on my own, and then Wolfie showed up later. And I remember because
I met your mate, and you was like, then you sobered up, and then you got pissed again.
No, it's because when the bands were starting, I had something to drink. Well, when you're listening to music, sometimes live music, you can have a drink.
Yeah.
And I did. I wasn't driving that night, so I was like, you know what, I'll have a drink. And then I got drunk before before Ward 16 showed up, and I was like, okay, I need to sober up now.
Oh, he's back.
And this was at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and Ward 16 were on at like 8. And I sobered up.
Yeah, then
because like another band came on.
It was Shrike, wasn't it?
It wasn't Shrike. That was later on in the night.
Joel's band. Shrike is Joel's band.
Yeah, so we know another guy, Joel, who is the frontman for a band called Shrike.
My favourite thing is he was going on about when he went on stage, and he was like, that's my first ever time I've been on stage.
You really couldn't tell. He was really good.
No, because
his voice is amazing, because he can do a lot of deep vocals.
He does he does some really good death growls.
Yeah, and I actually went to a pub quiz around Christmas time, and he was like doing a lot of calls to that Live Aid. They know it's Christmas. It was really, really fun that night. And yeah, I ended up getting drunk twice, sobering up twice. And I had a massive headache when I was coming to meet you in
Warehouse.
Yeah, for a night out. So I was like, fun day, because I'll have a bit to drink, and I'll slowly work my way up to being drunk, get to Warehouse, and I'll just top the night off with just all my friends.
Do I go this way, or do I go down?
Yeah, you go that way. You can go. Yeah, go that way.
What is that?
That is the thing that carried you here. Well, it's one of the things. You can kill it.
Friendly? But it carried me here.
That was a
Oh.
They just both like turn to look at
when walks in.
I'll give you a kite.
Bye!
Yeah, so I ended up getting drunk twice, sobering up twice, and then I met Wolfie, and I was like, oh, you're on next. Before you could, can you sign this? And he signed it, and then I went and I got a CD from the merch table, and I asked the guitarist, David.
David's cool.
Yeah, like, could you sign my jacket? He was like, oh yeah, sure, of course. And he gave me a patch, and he was so nice. Like, he's genuinely a lovely guy.
Do you remember Bloodshot Dawn?
Yes, I do. And I got...
we were talking to the guy doing all the band.
Yeah, and I didn't realise he was in Bloodshot Dawn for like...
Not only that, he was the lead singer.
Yeah, and I didn't realise... And I was talking, and I was like, you're familiar. You are really familiar to me. And you're not from... Because it wasn't a Bloodshot Dawn concert, it was
Flesh God.
But there were 4 bands there.
There was Flesh God, Serious Band.
I can't remember the name of the band, but that's when I met Russ Custard.
Yeah, and Sladen.
Yeah, and I remember that night because Sladen was doing the drums, but he dropped a stick, and so...
Like hitting it with his...
Yeah, so he was hitting the hi-hat with his fist for like an entire song, playing with the stick in the other hand. And I was watching him like, oh my god,
yeah,
this guy's just insane. He's so good.
I mean, do you remember when they walked, it was completely smashed?
Yeah, and I asked Russ, yeah, can you sign my jacket? And he signed it in the most awkward
place
ever.
He's like rubbing his hand across. Because you can sign anywhere as long as you can get the rest of your band on.
Yeah, and I just, do you want it down here? Just put it anywhere, because I want to get the rest of... I want to get the rest of Footprints. And he put it right at the very top of the jacket, where that little... What is it called?
The clothes tag.
Not a clothes tag, but that little piece of fabric where you can look or something. Yeah, that. And I'm like... He put it over some, like, the logo of the jacket as well. So I was like...
Wasn't it like halfway through a stitching as well for one of your patches?
A little bit really... I'm going to have to get him to do it again. Well, I just love the fact that someone has done that.
Seen him again, hopefully.
Yeah. But, yeah, Ward's the only band. I haven't really spoken to the lead singer, Psychoberry.
Oh yeah, no one ever sees Psychoberry. She barely ever does anything.
Well, I mean, she's a mother, so...
Yeah. I mean, David at the minute, he's he's just like managing the.
I mean, he's doing a damn good job at it.
Oh yeah, no, we've seen the poster ace.
Yeah, and he does T-shirt Saturday where you have to post what shirt you're wearing. But a lot of small band. You can't go in there. A lot of small bands I feel are sometimes better than big bands.
Oh hell yeah, they're a lot more fun anyway.
Me and you, we went to go see Slayer on the final tour ever when we
even though they've an album.
Have they?
Yeah. Well, it's actually a while ago they announced a new album.
Right, well, fair enough then. Well, they did the final tour, and we went there. It was a lot of fun, because we saw Anthrax,
Lamb of God, and Slayer in a row. We missed Obituary because we thought the gig started half an hour later than it did.
Yeah, we missed Obituary, which was unfortunate. We turned up halfway through Anthrax. We caught really good songs. Like Antisocial.
And we got Antisocial. Did we get not Breaking the Law? Iron Law?
Not sure. But we got
Madhouse.
So we got a lot of the really good, like, famous songs. Tried doing that.
No, I tried, but I got one.
And Joey Belladonna looks like
He looks like Slash now.
It's just like, it looks like an old leather bag.
I thought
he looks like he does in the 80s, except everything's like a foot lower.
You know when you play Saints Row 2 and you have the age slider and everything just drops?
I've not.
Have you not?
No.
Oh. Yeah, no, he looks like in like Saints Row games when you just turn the age slider up and everything just sags.
The physics.
The thing is, he does look a bit... Oh.
Yeah, I can see where that resemblance would be.
Because Slash hasn't changed 10 years.
He hides everything with a permanent
with a perma top hat and glasses.
Yeah. But like all these really they're on this stage where like there's security surrounding them. You can't get anywhere close, and all the interaction you have when they stop halfway through.
Throw some pics out. One hit me in the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kerry the guitarist.
Yeah.
Kerry King's guitar pick hit me in the eye after Dead Skin Mask.
Did.
Because the Dead Skin Mask, it went completely silent, I think, and then it did Rain in Blood.
I'll be honest. I don't remember the songs that they did. I was just having fun. I was being like punched in the back repeatedly in the mosh pit.
What happens is me and Big get standing. George will go up to the front and video it all, and I just go around in the mosh pits the entire night.
Yeah, when I see a band for the first time, I like to try and record the band. It's a good memory of the time I see it. Bugger it! I'm not going to record it anymore. I'm just going to have fun.
I mean, you see me in the mosh pits when we went to see.
Well, I don't because I don't go to the mosh pits. But the one at Slayer was massive.
It was the entire length of like.
Oh, but one of the worst as in like most brutal mosh pits I've ever been for a real band.
No, it was.
It was a Korn tribute band. You weren't there for it.
No, but the year after was the most brutal one I was ever in was it by Metallica? Or was it Kill 'Em All? I can never remember what the fucking song's called.
By the way, this isn't like we didn't go to Korn. Well, we didn't go to a real Korn concert.
No, it's a tribute band.
It was a big festival of bands called Rock. I'm not joking at all. It's amazing.
Yeah, no. I mean,
it's like £3. You're there from
it's 11 o'clock until 6. Is it?
No, it's not 6. It's
it's like 10, isn't it?
It's like 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. and it's just non-stop the entire.
And as well, because they have the metal night Saturday at like Rock Night.
It's like rock and pop night. Like
yeah, they have like Bon Jovi and stuff.
Soft rock and pop night.
Basically, that
when it's Tones and the Doors.
Tones is I like Deftones.
I'm not saying anything bad about it, but that's all on the Sunday night.
Yeah.
But on the Saturday night, they'll have like.
They'll have like Higher on Maiden, Higher on Maiden.
Yeah, Higher on Maiden. You can't go that way. It's the other way you're supposed to go.
You said to go right.
I didn't say that.
Anyway, this one.
Yeah. So they have the Maiden tribute band, Higher on Maiden. They have the Korn one, which was Korn again.
Yeah, it was Korn again. What?
They have really funny names.
The Machine Rage is on. Paramore's one was quite good.
I remember that one, but they have there's a load of AC/DC tribute bands.
Oh god, ACBC,
AC to DC. I think there was like AC/DC UK. There's tons of AC/DC.
We've seen like 3 different ones, I'm pretty sure.
Like every time I go to Rock Press, there's just a different AC/DC tribute band. They're all good.
Oh no, the thing is, most of them, like, they have to be the best they can, because otherwise they'll just get a band.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they get them. I mean, the only bad one I've ever seen was the Iron Maiden one the first time I went. The band was spot on. The singer kept on missing entire verses.
Well, it wasn't the singer who was missing verses. It was the singer they could all the high all the time. But all the rest of it, they were singing in the high note.
Do you remember 2 Minutes to Midnight? He missed like 3 verses. Because he kept going, "Scream for me!" It's in entire bits.
Alright, to be fair, I was still loving it.
It was
so much, and because it's like when you watch a bad film, it's so bad you enjoy it. And with these ones, you know what the song is, but because it's so bad, loving it. It's like karaoke. So it's the worst one I ever heard though. I was in tears laughing. Retouchers.
Oh god. Kiss one. Was it Kiss Me?
I think it was just Kiss UK, something like that. But that was a good one as well. But one of the best tribute bands was a band called Mentalica.
Oh, Mentalica Ace. And they really pushed the mosh pits forward.
Oh god, yeah. They were getting out of hand. The first year I went there.
They're one of the bands where they have to have words with the manager to get that out of hand. Oh, hello.
Well, the first year I went there, this was before I went with you.
That's when you went with all your uncles, wasn't it?
Not that. The year before I went with them. It was me on my own, and
Wombo combo.
One of my friends was with me at the time, and so I just hung around with him. And we were. Well, I wasn't in the mosh pit. I was like on the edge, just pushing people back in. I just like to be pushing people back in the mosh pit when they throw themselves at me.
I remember that time, the first time me and you went, you was like, right, I want to go into the mosh pits, but I don't want to get hurt, so I go around, point at you and run at you.
Yeah, I did do that.
Because you was like, I want mosh pits, but I don't want to get hurt.
No, it's because in the mosh pits at Korn, someone just straight up punched me in the chest.
Oh, I've had much worse than that. I've had fucking...
Yeah, I know, but I'm
like 3 pairs of
I'm not
dots.
built like a brick shit house. I'm like a frail little old man.
I've been like...
If you punch me, I'll probably
I've been kicked in the knees by like 3 pairs of docks in a row.
Well, I haven't. And
the amount of times I've been kicked in the face. That's when I found Keenan. The very first time I met him in a mosh pit by picking him up and saying, "You alright?" then throwing him back in.
No.
Because like he fell over onto me and I was like, "You're alright, mate," and then threw him back in.
No, one of the first mosh pits I ever went to was the Korn one, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a run." I immediately punched in the chest, and I lost my it was like square in the chest as well, right where my lungs were.
Right in the chesticles.
Yeah, and it hurt so much that I was like on the edge of the mosh pit, just like breathing heavily, just going, "Okay, that's enough for me." But the worst thing I ever saw in a mosh pit, because I don't go in them, I was on the edge. But after the Metallica one, ambulance arrived, and this girl was taken into the ambulance.
Oh no!
Because she broke.
She broke her entire hand, didn't she?
She didn't break. She just broke 4 fingers, not the thumb, just the 4 main fingers on her hand. She was a good sport about it.
She was a lot of the time though, with metal people, they are all having their entire bodies broken.
Oh god, yeah. There's one guy that I always see at Rock Press.
I mean, I remember,
and I don't know his name, but I remember talking to him once.
We met him at Anthrax.
Yeah,
because we were just walking around.
We have no idea who he is, but he's like
he's like a living legend.
He has a necklace. Well, he broke it.
He broke it, didn't he?
He had a necklace made of all the wrinkles from beer cans. He had pink, dyed pink hair, and he usually always drunk out of his mind.
Absolutely smashed.
And I saw him at Rock Press when it was when bands change over. They put on a bit of music. And they were playing Sepulture Roots.
Yeah, they played. Oh, that was ace.
And it was just me and him like in the middle of like everyone had just wandered off. Me and him were just stood there going, "Roots, bloody roots." But we were like shouting stuff though.
As is the little Roots, bloody roots.
It was so much fun. Oh god.
I hate these.
Oh god.
Oh god, what was that?
Yeah, you stand in the open, the archers will get you.
I mean, the archers and the weird brain things.
Yeah, so I kind of love these like small. We went to go see Flesh God Apocalypse.
Oh, do you remember?
It was so much fun.
You couldn't really see because obviously I was in the pit. Me and another guy my size doing hordes of people on stage.
Some guy was on this guy's like wow.
He was on my shoulders if this guy I'm talking about.
No, he was surfing, and I just saw this guy launch forwards, and he hit the floor really hard.
Do you remember that guy who went, "It's my birthday"?
Yeah, he got on the stage.
Yeah, no, you know when he was getting carried around? That was me carrying him around.
I just remember it being so much fun because there was just no rules.
No, because the band was like, "Yeah, you guys are crazy."
Well, yeah. So
Flesh God Italian band.
But they're Italian, and they play. If you've never heard of Flesh God before,
why am I getting passed around like a?
Because that guy over there shooting you with a bow and arrow.
Yeah, no,
that'll do a lot of damage.
But why are the arrows made of like steel?
Because Dark Souls.
They're made of lances.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's called a Great Arrow.
I might see if I can reinforce this sword, you know.
You can't. You need souls.
Only 2,000.
But Flesh God, they're like in between classical music.
Yeah, they're very operatic.
And death metal.
Yeah, it's
which you'd look at that and go, that's not supposed to work.
It does.
But then when you listen to it, one of the best example I can give is Sugar.
Oh, Sugar! Oh, what a song!
I can't remember the album, but the song Sugar, it blends. It has all piano segments in it, underneath all like the growling and the heavy guitar stuff work and all that lot. But it's a really and going into the concert they played the Violation immediately, and the whole crowd erupted into like a roar.
Oh, it was ace.
But there were like 3 or 4 other bands before God played, so everyone was sufficiently drunk and
very hyped up because each band was so good as well.
Yeah, and Bloodshot Dawn were just before them, and they were really, really good. And just to put context into this, in most stage, it was Manchester Revolution, and the thing you need to understand about some of these bands is, in a lot of places, then there'll be a
little barrier.
A barrier where the security guards and like photographers sometimes stand. And then if you crowd surf, you get put into that little bit. It's like a little trench.
It's like a little trench that's about 2 or 3 feet.
Yeah.
That's to the security guards. If you crowd surf to the front, it's like, right, are you all right? Here's a drink of water. Go to the front. Go back around.
And a lot of the times, if you're holding onto the railing, a guy comes around with a bottle of water and he'll give people at the very front a drink.
But no, at Revel,
there is none of that.
It's the stage.
Yeah, so there's the crowd, and then immediately in front of the crowd, there is the stage. So you could reach upwards.
Yeah, you could.
And you could to the artists.
Yeah, right. So
which is what happened.
So for a bit of context, I'm 6'4", and I'm quite a large man. I wouldn't say I'm built or anything. I'm just large.
You're stocky.
Yeah. And basically, there was me and another guy about 6 foot tall, 6'4", my kind of build, and he was me and him. People kept on. We were in the pits, and when we were over at the front, the people come up to us and just like, "Can you throw us up?" And we would look at each other. Yeah, because we would get them, throw them onto stage, and if they were a bit heavy, we'd just kind of slide them on. And then what happened is one guy, he was absolutely smashed.
I mean, there were a few people, but I know who you're on about, because he was throwing himself all around.
Yeah, because he high-fived the Flesh God guy, I forget his name, ran to the back of the stage.
I want to say Francesco Paoli.
I think it is Francesco.
Maybe.
But no, basically he ran to the back of the stage and then did a backflip into the audience because me and the other big guy went, right, aim for in between us so we could catch him.
Ignore these two guys, just run straight for the bridge.
But yeah, so we were like, aim for our shoulders so we can catch you. And he was like, right. And then...
Don't heal there.
And then he jumps and does a backflip onto our shoulders.
He was a legend.
He was such a... And it was like his best mate's birthday. And like he was like, oh, I want to do something big. So I put him on my shoulders and carried him around the mosh pit for like a solid 5 minutes.
Well, what I loved about that entire show was there were no rules. Like throughout...
No, because there was one bouncer and his entire job was to protect the door for the cigarette, for the smoking area, for the bands. Yeah. That's all he did. Like, he would occasionally walk up and be like,
screw the
look
rest
around.
Of the people.
And like, there was a smoking area for the bands, and that was his entire job.
So, from what I was like stood off to the side, and from what I saw, there was a bunch of people, and they went to the very, very back, and they crowd surfed all the way to the front.
Yeah.
Now, usually what would happen is they get put down into that that trench, and then they just walk around to the side.
No, we just slide them onto the stage.
Well, the first time it happened, they went from the back all the way to the front, and then the people at the front were like, what do we do now?
Oh, we handed him back, didn't we?
Yeah, you just put it all the way back, and then you just kept on like rotating around the room. Like he was like some sort of weird rotisserie chicken or something.
I remember because people started dropping him and shouted for me and the other big guy were like, oh right, and picked him up and carried him around for a bit.
And then eventually,
someone
just passed him forward onto the stage, and then they just kept on going onto the stage and jumping off. And you could just see the rest of the band were just like, this is getting a bit out of hand. There was a woman there.
Yeah, they had like a proper operatic singer.
Yeah, she was amazing.
I don't know if she sings in Italian or Latin, but she's a proper opera singer.
Same. I don't really know what language she was singing it in. I'm pretty sure she spoke English and whatnot.
But yeah, so when we were throwing people up, she was losing her shit.
Not in a bad way.
She was cracking up.
Yeah,
she was doing.
Yeah, and oftentimes, like when she wasn't singing, she was like standing off.
Like she was standing, looking imposing and very like majestic almost.
And then she burst out into laughter. And all these people running up and jumping onto the stage.
You got to bear in mind as well. She probably, because she was an opera singer, she probably had the most powerful microphone because it had to be.
And
you could just hear like the crackling from her laughter.
I'm pretty sure at one point she moved the microphone away so that she wasn't laughing into it too much, because all you can hear is like guitars going, the piano going off, deep growling, and then laughing. There's not many times you can get away with laughing during a concert.
There was a bit,
apart from one time at an Evil Scarecrow concert.
God, yes.
When all of the band just cracked up. And if anyone that's listened to Evil Scarecrow, it was during the song Crabulon. And during it, they explain how Crabulon came to be. It's when a robot...
And it's a robot and a crustacean love each other very much. The robot inserts his hard drive into the crustacean's eggs. However...
But at that point, he stopped because everyone was singing along to it, and he just went, eggs! And everyone just went back, eggs! And he just like giggled to himself, and he was like... eggs, 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 and everyone was like,
eggs.
And everyone was shouting about eggs, eggs, eggs. And then he started saying things in different languages, and people were saying it back. He said it in high-pitched tones. Everyone said it in a high-pitched tone, and he just got to a point where he was like, he had to like move away because he was like crying, laughing. And ignore that.
What is that?
It's someone's used a miracle, and he it was like one of the funniest experiences I've ever had in a concert like setting, and something similar happened the second time I went to go see him, like you were there when we went to go see Slipknot.
Yes.
You know how everyone was just going woo woo woo.
It's a very Manchester thing.
Well, everyone was doing it in Evil Scarecrow. So like during the middle, like during the end of one song and the start of another, people were just like in the crowd, one after another, just going woo. And then the singer, Dr. Hell, was just cracking. He was like, he couldn't stop laughing, and he just started doing it back, going woo woo woo. It was so funny.
Oh, fucking!
If
going to concerts.
If you can, just go to see a local live band,
and like especially heavy metal ones, because they're so much more fun than anything else.
Because with metal people, they have a good time. It doesn't matter if you like the music or not.
Even if
you go there for a good time.
Even if you go to like see Necro Goblin, where the dude's literally got a fucking dressed up as a goblin and he's taking himself really seriously, he'll go and be a dickhead because it's fun.
And like I went to go see a band that I went to go see a collection of bands that I didn't really like because I wasn't originally invited. My friend, like, he hurt his ankle, and then there was a spare ticket going, so I said, yeah, okay, I'll go. And this actually goes into another story, which I'll get to at some other point. But I was speaking to some of the bands there, and one of my favourites, I didn't like the music, but I loved the people in the band, because they were huge nerds. There was a guy dressed in like a full... I can't remember what it's called, but the outfit from Dragon Ball, the one that Goku wears.
Oh, I don't know what it's called, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, and they like had anime shirts on and stuff, and they were just like so funny. The music videos for their songs, they're like all classic horror based and whatnot. And I'm not a massive fan of the music because I'm not a fan of like slam metal and deathcore and all that lot. It's not that I think that my type of music's better, it's just
not what we like.
I just can't get into it as easily. It's like when I first listened to black metal, I couldn't quite get into it. It may take some time for me to get used to it. But I'll be honest, I haven't really given it that much of a chance, so yeah. It's easy to not go that way first, avoid that way, just focus on him. But yeah, so if you like slam metal, I highly suggest a band called Vulvodynia.
Yeah, I forgot. Sladen recommended a band, but I can't remember.
We'll have to give that band a. We've just been like rattling off different bands today.
You know who's surprising, and a lot of people.
Who's surprising? Let me open up my book of local bands that are playing at the moment.
No, it wasn't a local band. The surprising band that was really large, and it's very, very uncharacteristic for me to have seen, was Fall Out Boy. Because I really like Fall Out Boy, even though it's cringes out. Yeah, because I just think
there's a lot of stuff that I don't reckon you'd like.
Their old stuff's a lot of fun.
I'll be honest, there are a couple Fall Out Boy songs which are they proper.
They do slap.
They're actually, they've got a good beat to them. Like I like Centuries, and that's what's that one about? Phoenixes. Change You Like a Remix, and I'll Raise You Like a Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of the vocals on that. But the
beat slaps.
The instrumentals are really good.
No, the bassist and the drummer are insane in Fall Out Boy. Because when I went to see them live, they are great. It's a great stage show. I mean, like, if you've ever been to Manchester Arena,
I have.
Where the TV screens where there's all the close-ups on it.
Yeah.
They had two throughout the show, and we were all like, why? Fucking the drummer and the bassist go on one, and the guitarist and the lead singer go up on the other. Up in this, all the way up. But when they were like transferring to those, the drummer goes up and plays Blur Song 2, the drum solo on his own. It was a great stage show.
Speaking of like stage shows and like bands and all that lot.
Muse, quite a good stage show.
A band that I really want to go see live, baby metal.
Oh, baby metal! I really want to see that.
It got to a point where it's like baby metal came out and was like, oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
You know.
And then after a couple, like after a year or two, people are like, that's not real metal. And
but
then
they went on tour with Lady Gaga. That's how they became big over here.
And what I feel of it now is just
it's fun.
It's just fun music to listen to.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's like when we go to Warehouse or whatnot. It's like put some baby metal on because
there was a period where because the guy DJ Ben, I love annoying him by going play baby metal. Which song? One of the ones you don't like playing.
Yeah, we love that guy, and I love going on a Friday because it's just a nice fun atmosphere. DJ Lauren is really good.
She's
but I feel like she's a bit too much like me, where she'll just put something on.
Basically, she's listening to your playlist when we're driving.
My playlist?
Yeah, she's like listening to your playlist because there'll be like a Slipknot song and then...
Yeah, so my music's weird, so it's like if I put shuffle... In fact, hold on, let me just do it on my phone right now. I'll turn the sound down so I don't get copyright
I don't want to get copyright. Well, the thing is, you could have on like Slipknot, then straight away...
it goes from extremes, my playlist.
I'm trying... What's that song called? Unstoppity Bop.
Unstoppity Bop?
Skibbity?
Skibbity?
Unskibbity Bop. You can go from Slipknot to Unskibbity Bop, and then you go from Unskibbity Bop to Prodigy.
So, alright, so I've just loaded it up. The first one is Avenged Sevenfold. I have a soft spot for Avenged Sevenfold. I know I said I don't like too much core music. Avenged Sevenfold is one of those bands which I used to listen to a lot.
One of my favourite, I think it was in Sledgehammer, the magazine. One of my favourite quotes from it is, "If you like Avenged Sevenfold, it's because Metallica is not Metallica enough for you."
No, I just liked Avenged Sevenfold because I used to be really into Call of Duty Black Ops, and then I heard the music through the zombies maps. I was like, that's really cool.
I think one of my favourite things is, you know when you see those Tinder bios on Reddit?
This is getting somewhere dangerous now, alright?
And on the Tinder bio it says, I love heavy metal, Avenged Sevenfold, and Bring Me the Horizon. And then like this girl's like, oh, I've just got back from like, I think it was Slayer's tour before the last. And it's like, oh yeah, I love them. What song was it? He said it was. It wasn't a Slayer song. It was.
I wish it could be Christmas every day. The Slade song.
Yeah, I think it was Slade. You're like, and they list a load of Slade songs.
That might not be the one that I said might not be a Slade song, but Avenged Sevenfold.
It is Slade.
And then the Dread Crew of Oddwood, a really fun band.
Oh, is it Trollwhack?
No, it was Petty Theft.
Oh, Petty Theft's a good song.
Korn.
Korn, yeah.
Dance with the Dead, which are like an EDM type band.
I like a bit of EDM.
Faithless Insomnia.
Ooh, that slaps.
It's the 8-minute version. And then The Offspring.
Oh yes.
Managam, which is a Norwegian death metal band who sing in Norwegian. I'd recommend them. They're really good. Dokken, Dream Warriors.
Oh, Dokken, I love Dokken.
Dokken's like 80s. Like,
Dokken's just 80s encapsulated in a band.
But Dream Warriors, I heard that on the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors, and I fell in love with the song then.
I can't remember where I picked up Dokken.
Dread Crew of Oddwood again.
Yeah.
Ruskaja.
Oh, Ruskaja, I love those. I really want them to go tour in the UK.
Oh, The Prodigy.
I told you they'd be Prodigy.
Def Leppard. The Automatic, that song, what's that coming over
the hill? Is it a monster?
Creedence Clearwater Revival, Rhapsody of Fire.
Oh, Rhapsody of Fire.
But it's Rhapsody because it's the Dawn of Victory album.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Avenged Sevenfold again.
Death Clock.
Death Clock, yep.
Or as normies call it, Bat Metal.
Visigoth.
Or Bat Metal Forever.
Evil Scarecrow. Rammstein. So Gwar.
I mean, mine's about the same. Probably not as extreme. I've got Audio Slave, Linkin Park, Behemoth, Baby Metal, War, Avenged Sevenfold, Jerry Douglas.
I don't know who that one is.
Volbeat, Fall Out Boy, Avatar, and Pink.
Yeah. So mine. it's not gone to many extremes like that. But if I was to like take out a chunk of, I have different playlists for whichever mood I'm in.
Backstabbed.
For whichever mood I'm in, I go to a different playlist. So I have just like going down to pick a letter. And I'll just list off as many.
C.
C. Okay, so. So the first songs that come up are California Love by Tupac.
California. California.
Call on Me by Eric Prydz. Cameltosis by Korn.
Oh, Cameltosis.
Can I Play With Madness? Cat Groove by Parov Stellar.
Oh, Parov Stellar?
Caught in a Mosh, Anthrax.
Good
Chapel
song.
of Ghouls, Morbid Angel, and Children of the Damned.
I've not listened to Morbid Angel in some serious time.
So, it goes through some serious, like, swing. And I actually do have some swing music on here somewhere.
Wait, play some Richard Cheese.
Yeah, Richard Cheese, I haven't downloaded.
Also, highly suggest listening to Richard Cheese's entire discography.
Basically, he does
swing covers of just a lot of songs.
And I have like loads of different like playlists. The one playlist I listen to all the time, just because if I'm in a good mood, I'll listen to my fun songs playlist I made.
Oh, the thing is, you know what I've started doing in the mornings.
Let me just get to a point. Here we go. So Eiffel 65, Blue, Bass Hunter, Dota, Bass Hunter, Now You're Gone, Little Big Go Bananas, Little Big Hypno Dancer. I usually shuffle it, so.
Well, you know what I've started doing to wake myself up in the mornings?
Daft Punk.
I listen to Little Big, like 3 or 4 of the songs, and then I listen to like Fever of the Ghosts and like really trippy stuff. Because I like my trippy and my comedy music.
Yeah,
because Weird Al.
Sometimes you don't want to like listen to something too serious because it puts you in a bit of a bad mood.
I'm in love with like trippy comedy music, especially like skit stuff and parodies.
I'm not massively into like trippy music.
No,
you're really struggling on this, aren't you?
Yeah, it's because of the archers and then the vampire.
Well, I'm not massively into like trippy stuff, but I do like comedy music. So I like a lot of NSP and Starbomb and
I love me some classic Pink Floyd.
I wouldn't say Pink Floyd is trippy or comedy. Pink Floyd is just like, it's one of those songs where one song is the album. You can't just listen to one song when it's
it's that thing. I'll go on a drive, listen to Pink Floyd, and end up having to go on a 2-hour-long drive to listen to like 2 albums.
Which is why if I'm going on a long journey, I'll put on a Pink Floyd album if I'm in the mood for it. But I have loads of CDs of compilation stuff.
Oh, and as well, I love listening to some King Crimson.
Yeah.
If you've got a solid 50 minutes to put aside.
Well, if you don't have that much time, there's only one real King Crimson song that you
21st Century Schizoid Man.
Yeah, that's the only one that you should listen to if you can only listen to one.
Yeah, for me, I love I Talk to Wind.
Listen to that.
And Caught the Crimson King, the actual song.
Well, I actually found a proper original pressing vinyl of it once.
No.
It was
Isn't it like £300-400 for the vinyl?
Well, it was very expensive. I don't remember how much it was, but it was in Southport, and they had it in a case, like locked in a case, so you couldn't get to it because you had to specifically ask.
You had to ask for it. Then as well, you're not allowed to touch it, are you? Or if you touch it, you have to buy it.
Pretty much, and it's one of those things where
it's
if
like
you want to play it, you buy the vinyl. And then you get a digital download of it so you can listen to it on there. Because you don't play the vinyl.
It's like The Simpsons when you go to Comic Book Guy's shop and like get a Radioactive Man #1. He brings it out of the case in a bag, in a sealed bag,
in a box, in a safe,
with a vice grip. And if you touch it,
you must vacuum sealed containment zone.
If you touch it, you must pay the $200.
Yeah. So it's like. I only have one. It's not like a very expensive vinyl, I don't think. It's an original pressing of the original Van Halen album.
Oh, I love the original Van Halen album.
I've played it a few times, and it's really good. I'm not Oh god.
Oh.
Like, I'm not entirely worried about damaging it that much.
No, because the thing is, have you noticed that vinyls are now really common because they become Indian hipster again?
Yeah.
Because I was in Asda yesterday and he had a full rack of vinyls. I was like, this is Asda.
The good thing about that is, it just means that I can buy some vinyls of like stuff that doesn't get released that
Admittedly,
much.
they had Pink Floyd's first album. I always forget what it's called. But they had that and they had Dark Side of the Moon. I was like, if I was going to buy vinyls, I'd buy those too.
Yeah, because I know that Wolfie has Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, I love that song. I
Original.
love that album.
Well, maybe not original, but it's from like the 80s or something.
80s or 90s is very much acceptable.
Well, I think Dark Side of the Moon came out in '78, I think. So if coming out in the 80s, because vinyl was losing to tapes and 8-track players then.
Yeah, and then tapes lost to CDs.
Well, 8-tracks lost to tapes, and then tapes lost to CDs.
And now tapes have come back because they're so cheap to record on.
Yeah, and then CDs then lost to like
Laserdisc, was it?
No.
Well, no, Laserdisc was good.
Laserdisc was movies.
Yes.
CDs then lost to digital downloads, and then after that, CDs they came back because they were cheap, and then you could do tapes, and people that wanted tapes were usually like not hipsters, but they wanted like nostalgia stuff.
Well, I know it was
basically it's people like me because they go, oh yeah, I want an NES to feel what it was like in the 80s.
Well, it's like Will with his massive boombox.
Yeah, they want it,
which is great to listen to if you haven't.
Yeah, they want it to emulate what it was like in the past because they love all that. It's the same reason why we play old games and not like new games all the time, because sometimes all of that past stuff is still great. So I think you're getting a bit annoyed, so maybe we should end it there.
Yeah, we'll end it there. We've got a full podcast here.
Yeah, that's gone a little bit over the half-hour time.
I can still upload it. It's fine.
Yeah,
but this will just be a podcast episode. I actually really enjoyed doing this.
Yeah, so it's just fun to rant and talk about all this different band shit, because we could talk about that kind of stuff.
We could talk about this for days. And
I haven't mentioned any of the stories of like when I was in Manchester.
Oh god!
After seeing that Vulvadinia concert, and I can't remember what band it was, but it was one of my friend's favourite bands.
Right, you ready for this? You're
going to backstep onto it. Yeah, I can't remember what band it was, but yeah, so I went to go see that band and subsequently got stuck in Manchester.
I mean, I nearly got stuck in Manchester about 3 or 4 times. There was a time that...
Well, nearly.
Do you remember that time that we went with everybody? And there was one... me and you got the train. And they were like, oh, one of you can get a lift with them home. So you got in there. And then I got the very last train because I yelled at the train conductor, please God, wait, I'll be stuck in Manchester for a day.
Well...
what was that? Was that Hailstorm?
I don't know, but I did not have that luxury, and I was stuck in Manchester overnight. And it was a Sunday, so luckily there was no one around. Bad thing is, there was no one around, so it's one of those things of, I feel safe, but I don't feel safe because...
The people who would be out are the worst kind of people.
No, the people that would be out, they're not too bad to deal with because they're drunk. They're not going to be like drunk and angry unless you instigate something. But the people that are out are the people that could sort of maybe propose a bit of a threat to you.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying. Like, that is genuinely like a big like fear of mine. Just be wandering around and then suddenly someone like mugs you out of nowhere.
Because you're not quite as used to handling things as I am.
Well, I'm used to handling things in Preston, but I'm not used to handling things in Manchester because...
Manchester is infinitely worse.
Yeah, not to say anything bad about Manchester, but I just find it a bit more horrible.
I think one of my favourite Nerd Cubed quotes is, Manchester is just a giant game of stab and run.
I mean, I'd say Preston's friendly. If you're going to get stabbed in Preston, They'll do it with a smile.
Yeah, that'll ask you for change.
Now that is what you call customer service.
Service
Nice.
with a smile.
So, nice.
That'll do it. Okay, I'm not stopping now. Let's carry on.
Run past him.
What's an item?
Do you want to risk it? Alright, run. Run. Roll down there.
Is the best be a bonfire?
Yeah, so I haven't talked about when I got stuck in Manchester. And I could talk about, like
Is there a bonfire, George?
Check that door on the left. I could talk about music and movies and games and stuff. I could talk about this kind of shit for hours.
Oh, thank sweet Jesus.
And I think that's a good place to leave it off. And next time we'll come back, chat more shit, and yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I hope you've enjoyed our
hour-long podcast.
And Joe just getting stuck on the same bit over and over and over again.
I finally did it exactly as it came to an end.
So yeah, we'll see you next time. And if you have any questions for us,
just drop it in the comments, because I do read everything, because no one comments, so I don't have to read anything.
No one comments, hardly anyone watches, to be
fair.
No,
I watch, like, I always say this, but I watch each video about 3 or 4 times in post, and then you watch it.
Well, you watch it because you have to edit it.
I have to edit everything out and make sure there's none of the big swears that I make sometimes.
And when it comes out, I watch it just to, like, see if it's any good. And if it is...
You normally tell me about stuff when stuff goes wrong.
Yeah, well, like in...
Because I can miss things in edits because my speakers are really quite flat.
People will notice that in part 5 I was a bit quiet, and I was like, I don't know why that is. And I was like, it's because I was leaning back. Hold on. Like that. I was leaning back away from the microphone, so if Joe started talking...
Yeah, you could hear me, but not you.
You could hear him, but you couldn't hear me because I was leaning back and far away from the microphone. Whereas now, I'm forward, and I'd say I'm much more clear.
Oh, right. So
that's ended that Death Run saga.
Yeah, so if I looked here, I feel really accomplished actually getting past that guy at last.
Yeah.
Because that's just a gauntlet of bullshit.
Yes, it is. That is Anno Orlando, the bridge segment. That is what most people say. It's just a menagerie of shit.
It's a gauntlet of bullshit, but it's a very surpassable gauntlet. It just takes a lot of trial.
Yeah.
Not trial and error, just trial.
And
mostly error.
And I'd like to say that you didn't get mad at it, probably because we were just bullshitting the entire time, talking about bands and shit.
No, because that's the thing that we're best at, is just bullshit and stuff.
Yeah, when we do a podcast, it's just like, we have a bit to drink, and we start talking, and then we just keep going.
Yeah, because...
And then we look at the time and go, Christ, we should stop.
Yeah, because we actually have an episode which is just a podcast, this will be another one.
Yeah, well, the episodes like 2, 3, and 4
are just podcasts.
Basically a podcast, because we don't make any progress.
No, because I was only just learning controls. Now I'm quite, not going to say good, but adequate.
You're adequate at getting through the game, so you're nearly halfway through.
Yeah.
You got ONS to fight, so that might be a bit of a...
Will Sulla help me?
Yes.
Yay!
Alright, I think we should end it there.
Right, see you guys later.
Yeah, see you in a bit.